I do want to ask you about a point that you have made yourself, and that is that Iranians cannot topple the regime without some kind of help from the outside. That was your quote. Yet U.S. intelligence predicts that even a mass military assault from the skies won't crumble this regime. So what does Israeli intelligence know that perhaps the U.S. doesn't?
Predictions about this kind of things never works. But I said this regime can change during the campaign, but we can see that also after the campaign. As much as I think that what we had saw on the streets of Iran during December, during January, was a result of our previous attacks on June. And that cracked the image of power of this regime internally and externally. So this is very important to give the people of Iran the conditions to act. And you do that by systematically decreasing the powers of the regime, which is a very repressive regime, attacking revolutionary guards, attacking Basij, attacking all the repressive apparatus. This is what we do. And I think that eventually we saw that the people of Iran want to fight for their freedom, to regain their freedom. And they paid heavy prices for that. But no one was there. It is clear they couldn't do that alone. I think that this operation can create the conditions for that. But at the end of the day, as you quoted, it can be done without the Iranian people themselves.
And does that include attacking Iranian fuel depots? Because as you know, Axios here in Barak Ravid is reporting that after Israel struck 30 Iranian fuel depots this weekend, it went beyond what Washington had expected, sparking perhaps the first rift, at least publicly, between these two allies. An Israeli official says that the U.S. reaction was literally, quote, WTF, and that a Trump advisor says the president didn't like the attack because it spooked oil markets, which we've seen skyrocket in the last 48 hours alone. Are you needlessly fracturing the most important relationship that you need and depend upon for this war?
We have a very good coordination with our friends from the American administration, both in the political and military level, and we are not handling that in the media. What I can say on the thing itself is we struck several fuel storage complexes used by the Iranian military forces. So it was the purpose of these strikes was to hurt Iranian military activity. It is in war. It happened, and whatever we should say, we say between us and our friends from the American administration, it's a very tight, close coordination and cooperation.
Did you hear concern from the Americans?
By the way, I want to emphasize the fact that the war of Iran, you can see it when they also target states which are not our friends, like Turkey or Qatar. From Iranian perspective, it's a war against all American allies in this region, because the US president had really done here something which is very great. He decided to act. We had a lot of talks in the past with regard to proliferation of nuclear weapons. I can remind you that during the 90s, President Clinton warned North Korea not to do it, but they had done it because eventually there was no one to back words with deeds. What President Trump had done here is great from an historical point of view and also from the point of view of American leadership in the world.
Is there concern, though, with actions like these? I know Israel says that it struck these fuel depots because they were being used by the IRGC. Is there concern, though, given the images that we've seen over the skies of Tehran, even by some of this reporting from Axios that the White House did not expect this type of strike to this degree and extent? Is there concern that in your attempt to help the Iranian people, it could in fact backfire and turn them against Israel and the United States in their effort to topple the regime?
I don't think so. I think we know what we do. I think we are coordinated with the United States, which is our greatest ally and a partner to this important war, by the decision, the courageous decision of President Trump. And we will act with wisdom, and we will act in order to, among other things, which I mentioned, with regard to the nuclear program, ballistic missiles program, and other things, we will create the best conditions for the Iranian people to regain their freedom. But eventually, it will be dependent on them. This is something that must be clear as well.